Hi, we're here with Michael Berardi, the inventor of the expanding garden hose. You might know it by the name Xhose, a name known around the world as the first incredible expanding hose. Michael, you've done this for a couple of years, and it had to be a terrific opportunity for you to develop this. When was your Thomas Edison moment?
I was in the gym, with one of those elastic resistance tubes. I was working out with it. And I don't know, it just hit me. I said, I wonder what would happen if I ran water through that. And basically, that was my Thomas Edison moment.
Well, okay, now you've got the moment. When did you begin your experimenting?
Well, I began my experiments, pretty much immediately thereafter. Right after I had my Thomas Edison moment.
And then, obviously, you had to have a place to do this. You do it in a lab, or where'd you go?
Well, believe it or not, Reg, I actually did all of my experimenting in my house and right in my own backyard. It was pretty incredible, actually.
What about verifying all these experiments? Because obviously that's paramount to making sure that if you're going to invent something, that it is documented.
Well, as soon as I realized that I really was onto something that could be really big, I said to my wife, I said, Cheryl, we've got to document this. And so I gave her my iPad, and I said, I want you to videotape everything that I do from here on out as far as all my experiments go. And that's what we did. So I have about 50 videos of all the actual experiments from the very beginning to the first working prototype, which we videotaped in my back screen porch, which was pretty neat day, to see it actually work for the first time. It was a very memorable day, believe me.
So you filed an application. Then what happened?
On November 4th, 2011, we filed our first patent application, and I thought that we would have had to wait 3 or 4 years for a patent, and we had a patent pending on it, obviously. You file a patent, you get a patent pending. So then what happened was we shot the TV commercial. I spent about 4 or 5 months, by the way, going through the whole manufacturing process. Now, it seems like a simple product, but we had to go through a lot of experimenting from a manufacturing standpoint with the different types of webbings, the different types of tubing, what size tubing worked best with what size webbing, the connectors, everything. And so that was about a 4 or 5 month process. We finally got the manufacturing down, and then what happened was we shot the commercial and we put it on TV in March of 2012.
Tired of tugging and lugging your hose? It's heavy, it tangles, as everyone knows. You need the original DAP Xhose, the world's first expanding hose. Watch this. Turn the water on and the Xhose automatically expands up to 3 times its length. Turn the water off, and as the water drains, the Xhose automatically contracts back to a small size.
It was a blockbuster of a success. In fact, in our industry, which is known as the DRTV industry, the direct response TV business. It was probably one of the most successful products in the last 10 years. I mean, it was just phenomenal. And so throughout the summer, March, April, May, June, July, we sold tens, probably hundreds of thousands of units during that summer. And Cheryl and I, by the way, were ecstatic because we knew that in the next season, right, it was going to get into all the retail stores. We were going to sell millions and millions of units, and that was going to be it for us. We were going to be retired and go sit on an island somewhere, maybe buy an island. But unfortunately, it really didn't happen that way. But that's one of the reasons we're here telling my story.
There had to be another moment in your life when you realized, hey, I'm not the only one selling this hose.
Well, that's an interesting story in itself. Cheryl and I were sitting in a restaurant, and it was a sports pub, and they had all these televisions, up over the tables, and I looked at her, and she looked kind of shocked. She's looking at one of the televisions, and I said, what's wrong? She said, don't look at the television. I said, what do you mean, don't look at the television? So of course I looked at the television, and there was again, what I believe is an infringing product, their commercial, which was almost the same commercial that Cheryl and I worked so hard to write and produce and spent, you know, a month or two, you know, developing our concept for a commercial. There it was, basically the same product, an expanding hose with a lot of the same scenes, and I was devastated because I knew what company it was, and I knew they were a big company, and that I was going to have a major legal battle on a major expensive legal battle on my hands.
Tell me a little bit about what's going on with the knockoffs.
There are literally, I would say, about 100 knockoffs all over the world right now. And everybody is telling me that, who has been in this business for many, many years, this is the most knocked off product that they've ever seen in the history of our industry. I mean, if you go on all of the big internet sites, for example, and I'm not going to mention any names, but you go on one of the largest internet marketing sites, they have right now, this day, this moment, there are 60 vendors selling Xhose counterfeits, knockoffs, red ones, blue ones, white ones, green ones, all kinds of colors, all kinds of names. They're using our marketing materials. They're using pictures, still shots of our commercial. I mean, it's absolutely mind-boggling to me. Now, think about me. I walk into a major retail store, right, and I don't see a little one or two of these hoses on a shelf somewhere in the back. I walk into a major retailer, and what do I see? About 150 of these hoses staring me in the face. The automatic sliding glass doors open. There they are, right there. My invention, basically, and I'm saying that, okay, for a legal reason, I have to say, I assume it's the same as my invention with a different name on it. And the feeling is, it almost physically made me ill. It actually did make me physically ill. And angry and upset and stressed out and all the other words you want to say about how anybody would feel if that happened to them.
You have 3 U.S. patents. Mm-hmm. You talked about the international need for protection as well. Give us a little bit of information about how you try to protect yourself on the infringement end.
Well, you know, it's very difficult when something is patent pending. But the minute we got our patent, our first patent, which was October 25th in 2012, we filed a patent infringement suit against one of the major, we believe, infringers. We've since filed another major patent infringement suit against another marketing and distributor. And we also now have filed patent infringement suits against some of the largest retailers in the world who have been selling knockoff expandable hoses during the last year. And it's been quite a journey from the legal aspects of it.
What do you think about the potential for being awarded, coming out on top on your infringement cases? How much money are we talking about?
There have been, and this is, we believe, a pretty accurate estimate. There have been 25 million units of infringers and counterfeits sold throughout the world at a retail value of $400 to $500 million. We're figuring it could be close to, $300 to $400 million in damages.
That's an amazing number.
It's an amazing number, and it's probably one of the largest patent infringement lawsuits in the history of our industry.
We've got the David Goliath scenario. How do you go out and tell the world that I'm David and I'm going to prevail in this?
Well, I have 3 U.S. patents and many patents around the world issued already and many pending. Here's the thing. If you are going to copy a product, some people in our business, a lot of times, they'll change it a little bit, they'll make a little change here and there, they'll get around the patents. But you know what? If you do not manufacture this product pretty much exactly the way this is, it's not going to work. Simple as that. And that's why I think that these lawsuits are so unique in our industry. Because, you know, to me, anybody that just looks at them and uses them, they'd say, well, it's the exact same product. So that's why, you know, I think that we have about a 98% chance of winning our lawsuits, and David will prevail in this case against Goliath. So,
what kind of toll did this take on you personally?
Never sleep. You know, I don't sleep much.
Family-wise?
You know, family, you know, the whole dynamic of the family. And, you know, and I think the fact that this is not going to be a short-term thing that's happening here. This is a long-term, you know, litigation, patent infringement cases take years, you know, 2 to 3 years. And that's one of the reasons, you know, I'm appreciative of what we're doing today, because I really want people to understand that, hey, you know what? I invented this product. Nobody else did. I invented it. And I'm sitting here right now and I'm thinking, you know, I've created a product that has grossed over $400 million around the world, you know, and nobody knows about this story.
What might your plans be for the future now?
For the future is based on the fact that it's been so successful. You ever hear that story, you know, that saying, a chicken in every pot?
Sure.
Well, my saying is an Xhose on every spigot. This actually, based on what's happened in the last year, I truly believe can change the whole garden hose industry.
Thank you very much,
Oh,
Michael
you're welcome.
Berardi.
Thank you. Thank you,
Expert.
Reg.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Michael Berardi, the inventor of the expanding garden hose. And if you've watched this video at all, you know it's the Xhose, and it's a terrific product. Thanks for watching.
And thank you very much, Reg. I appreciate it very much.